G'day, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Steelers Nation Australia. But today, it's not me giving the hot takes. I'm responding to your hot takes. That is Steelers Nation Australia or Steelers Nation fans around the world. Your hot takes. So let's start with Roberta. So I put a post out the other day on the community post. So I just want to find out what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and that is to do with Steelers and Steelers Nation. So this was Roberta. So Roberta says here, I think a Steeler Nation should show congratulations and support of one of our own who no longer with us, currently having success. That is to Dobbs, wishing him continued success always, except if he's playing the Steelers. That's been a big thing around Steeler Nation too. Joshua Dobbs now 2-0. He's been to the Cardinals, I think Tennessee Titans, the Browns. The Browns could have really used Dobbs. They had him as a backup quarterback. They traded him away to the Cardinals, I'm pretty sure. Then Dobbs did go, I think, 1-9 or had some really bad success there. But the Cardinals traded him away to the Vikings. So he's been moved around a lot, but I wish him all the luck. I hope he can have some good football play out there and hopefully he can have a career. Now, people have been comparing him to Kenny Pickett. To me, that makes no sense. They said, we should have kept Dobbs. It doesn't make any sense. To be very honest, the Steelers didn't keep Dobbs because they had, I think at the time they had Rudolph, and I think they may have had Duck Hodges. But they also had Big Ben going into his 2020, I think, season, and then 2021 was his last season. Then Steelers went and got Trubisky, then they drafted Kenny Pickett. So it doesn't make any sense to say the Steelers should have kept Dobbs at the time because in reality, he was like third or fourth on the depth chart. He wasn't the player that he was now. But I agree with you. I think you should wish him success. The only time you don't want to root for Dobbs right now is in the Super Bowl if we verse the Vikings or if the Steelers verse the Vikings. But I wish him all luck. So thank you, Roberta, for that one. We have here another hot take here. It's from George. George says move to the slot, right? Should be an upgrade over A. Robinson. That would keep Williams, the tight end, on the roster. A good blocker and team guy, use the middle of the field for passing plays. Now, Freiermuth isn't back just yet. Freiermuth is on the IR, but he is back to practicing. So I get what you're saying. If you were to keep Williams, Haywood at tight end, Williams, Darnell, Washington at tight end, and Haywood in the mix too, that might make sense for blocking plays too because they're big players, or at least Darnell and Williams is. You could use Freiermuth in the slot. It could be a possibility. They kind of use they use Kelsey like that, right? Don't they? They use Kelsey out there. They push him out wider. It could make sense. But I want to have a follow-up question because there's more about this story. There's more of the story than I think just pushing him to the slot. Because we had Gene here too, who chimes in and says, Muth and Washington run as a double tight end set, and KP8 starts a cut up the middle of the field. So that's a hot take. And that, to me, kind of has to happen. You have the run game now with Najee Harris and Warren getting 200 yards. Can the Steelers, when they get Muth back, can they start to use the middle of the field? That's a big question. And that's really a hot take. Can they start to move? I can't say move. Can they move Muth around and get him involved in the middle of the field? Can Kenny Pickett find a reliable guy on third down, 3rd and 5? Or 2nd and 10, or whatever it may be, to find the middle of the field? You can see him going to DJ on the outside. You see him to go George Pickens on all the way down the field and the back shoulder passes. But can they find in positions where that KP8 can get the ball to Muth and get the ball to Washington, the double tight end set? And then two, you've got Washington there to run block, and hopefully Freiermuth can get better at that aspect. But it would be kind of fun to see those two blokes getting passes in the middle of the field because they're big blokes too. Give the ball to Washington and he'll fall forward for about 5 yards. Next one. We've got 2 more to go. Hot take. This from Quick Easy says, Sideline Canada goes undefeated the rest of the season. So that's 8 more games. So if the Steelers go undefeated the rest of the season, we'll be 14-3, right? Now, if you go to the schedule, of course, we have the Browns coming up this week, and the Browns haven't got Watson. So they verse the Browns, they verse the Bengals, right? 2 very tough games. They've got the Cardinals at home and the Patriots at home. They're very winnable games. At the Colts, and then to end the season, it's Bengals, Seahawks, and Ravens. Now, that's a pretty hot take because you're saying, and I don't disagree with you, it would be great to see the Steelers go 14-3. they would then be the number 1 overall seed. Sideline Canada goes undefeated for the rest of the season. However, what about if one game he goes back to the booth and they lose? That could be a possibility, right? So that doesn't mean that Sideline Canada has to play every time down there. But you would hope, though, that Sideline Canada does go undefeated. But I don't see it happening. I reckon we can win 6 games, 7 games, maybe lose 2 or 3. But to go undefeated would be absolutely crazy. Right, so our last hot take from you guys, Steeler Nation and fans of Steelers Nation Australia. Right, this one's from our good mate, It's Yinsberg, which is Tyler out there. He says, the Killer B era was never a Super Bowl ready team like many claim. Dude, how many times do we hear that? Steelers should have won Super Bowl with Big Ben, AB, Le'Veon Bell, all those dudes. Yeah, maybe, but injuries happen and also the game plays out too. Right? It's not that easy to win Super Bowls. We have 6. The Browns have 0. The Bengals have 0. It's not that easy to win Super Bowls. So, Itzinsberg says, as good as their offense was, they couldn't stay healthy, and the secondary was Swiss cheese the entire time. And I back that up, and I agree with you. But also, my good mate here, Daredevil, backs it up too. He says, Ross Cockrell, Valentino Blake. I remember Blake. I think he had like 1 interception I saw him do. Mike Mitchell, it was horrible. So safety play was bad. Cornerback play was bad. It was even worse than the play we have now with Levi Wallace and Peterson and now JPJ is coming into the scenario, right? So the Steelers didn't have a good that era of cornerbacks didn't really change the mindset until like when Joe Hayden came in. We had some better cornerbacks. But I can't wait till maybe next year when Corey Trice maybe gets a go next year, and we'll see the development of JPJ get better, and also week to week too with JPJ. So I agree with that, man. The Killer B era was not Super Bowl ready as many claim to be. Anyways, guys, that's the hot takes. If you guys got any hot takes in the comments below, let me know. That was kind of fun. So thank you to Roberta, George, Easy, and Gene, and also It's Yinsberg on YouTube. I'll see you guys later.